Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopashantaye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurave Sarvalokanam Bishaje Bhavaroginam Nitaye Sarvavidyanam Sri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Apara Karuna Sindhum Jnanadam Shantarupinam Shri Chandrasekharendra Gurum Pranamami Mudanvaham Sadguru Charanarvindabhyam Namaha Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. So in Vivekachudamani, Acharya, the Guru, is explaining the avidya or maya or mithya or anatma to the Sishya. Let us take the word anatma. The Guru is explaining what are all the things the Sishya is not. Atma means the own self. Anatma means what are all the things that the Sishya is not. That is what he is explaining. Here the Guru takes, there are several ways to explain Anatma. Here the Guru takes the Sharira Traya Viveka logic, the logic of discrimination between the three bodies. What are the three bodies? Sthula Shariram, that is the physical body, Sukshma Shariram, that is the subtle body, and Karana Shariram, that is the causal body. We all know what are all these three bodies because we got a glimpse of Mandukya Upanishad, which talks in detail about all these three bodies. So that's why I introduced Mandukya Upanishad in the last class. So here in this class, we are going to see about physical body, subtle body, and causal body. About Sthula Shariram, we have already seen a lot in detail. So the Sthula Shariram is made up of Panchikrita Panchabhutas. The Panchabhutas, the 5 elements which have undergone the process of Panchikaranam, is called as Panchikrita Panchabhutas. So the Sthula Shariram is made up of Panchikrita Panchabhutas. And what are the components of the Sthula Shariram? The physical Golakam of Karmendriya, Jnanendriya, Golakams, they are the components of Sthula Sharira. In a simpler way, whatever the things that we can physically perceive, whatever the things that are tangible is called as Sthula Sharira. The Acharya is explaining the Sukshma Sharira or the subtle body in detail. In Vivekachudamani, Acharya says the subtle body is apparently a Puri Ashtakam, 8 Puris, a country made up of 8 cities is the subtle body. It's a poetic form of expression. It basically says the subtle body has got 8 components. What are the components? Vagadi Pancha, Shravanadi Pancha, Pranadi Pancha, Abhramukani Pancha, Buddhyadi, Avidyapicha, Kama, Karmani, Puryashtakam, Sukshma Sharira Mahuhu. He says, what are the each thing? Vag Adi Panja. I have previously said, Indriya is different from Golaka. Golaka is the physical thing that is present, but Indriya is the capacity to see, is the capacity to do. So karma, Golaka mouth is the physical mouth we have, but mouth Indriya is the capacity to speak. That is how we have to differentiate. So Vagadi Pancha means Pancha Karmendriya, has got mouth, hands, legs, genitals, and excretory. All these indriyas have got different functions of action. So action indriyas, karmendriyas. And then Shravanadi Panja. Shravana, these are jnanendriyas starting from our ears. So ears, skin, eyes, tongue, nose. These five are jnanendriyas or faculty of knowledge. So this is the second city, second puri, jnana puri. Karma puri is the karmendriyas. Jnana puri is jnanendriyas. Next puri is prana puri. What are the five pranas? Prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. These are all the five pranas called as prana puri. Next puri is abhramukhani pancha. Bhuta puri, pancha bhutas, but these are all apanchikrita panchabhutas, meaning these are all the panchabhutas in its original state before undergoing the intermixing. So we all know Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apa, Prithvi. These are all the five subtle elements. So up to this, we have seen in the last class, and we have seen the introduction of Antakaranam. In the shloka, it is told as Buddhyadi. Antakaranam. Adi Shankara gives a technical name called as Antakaranam, and it only has four components. So all the puris that we have seen previously have got five components each, but Antakaranam or Buddhyadi, it only has got four components. Then what are the components? There are Manas, Buddhi, Ahankaram, and Chittam. Mano Buddhi Ahankara Chittani Naham. Nacha Shrotra Jihve, Nacha Prana Netre. Shivoham, Shivoham. There is a shloka that Adi Shankara writes. If you want to remember this in this order, then you can remember it by remembering the shloka. Mano, Buddhi, Ahankaram, and Chittam. What is Manas? Manas is emotional faculty. Manastu Sankalpa Vikalpanadibihi. Basically, Manas is very emotional. Okay, whether it will happen, whether it is not happening. Whatever the thing, we always have this, right? Whenever we have a Sankalpa, we always think, oh, okay, these are all the things why it should happen, and these are all the points why it should not happen. Okay, we always have this wavering mind, whether this will happen or not. If we have a marriage in this family, we will think, oh, this marriage should happen, this marriage, there won't be any problem to the marriage. But we always, we think, we emotionally, we are attached to something. So, Sankalpa Vikalpanadibihi. So, this Manas is emotional faculty. Next, Buddhi. This Buddhi is intellectual faculty. Can you please put yourself mute so that everybody can hear? Buddhi is intellectual faculty. What is intellectual faculty? Antakaranam is only one thing, but depending upon the function, it is divided into four. Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chittam. So there are not four parts of Antakaranam, four physical parts. It is just one thing. But when it doubts, it is called as Manas. When it reasons, intellectual faculty is reasoning faculty. So when it reasons, when it tries to understand things as it is, that is what is called as intellect. எப்பொருள் எத்தன்மைத்தாகினும் அப்பொருள் மெய்ப்பொருள் காண்பதறிவு, says Thiruvalluvar in Tirukkural. We all know only this Kural, அப்பொருள் மெய்ப்பொருள் காண்பதறிவு. But there is also another Kural, எப்பொருள் யார் யார்வாய் கேட்பினும் அப்பொருள் மெய்ப்பொருள் காண்பதறிவு. We all know this Kural, but there is another adhikaram called as மெய்யுணர்தல். In that adhikaram, Thiruvalluvar says, எப்பொருள் எத்தன்மைத்தாகினும் அப்பொருள் மெய்ப்பொருள் காண்பதறிவு. So we have to understand things in its original sense. That is what is the real intellect, and that is called as buddhi, intellectual faculty. Buddhi padarthadvaya padarthad padarthadhyava yasanadya dharmata. So that is called as buddhi. What is then ahankaram? Ahankaram is basically identicative faculty. It is just a word I made up right now. Identicative means it identifies with the body. Whenever somebody asks, who are you? We refer to this body, right? What is that faculty that makes us identify with our body? We are not the body. That we can understand, during the dream. Because what happens during the dream? During the dream state, we don't use this physical eyes. We don't walk with this physical legs. But in our dream, we see. In our dream, we walk. What does that mean? It means that this body is not us, but there is something else. But we normally identify ourselves with this body because of ahankaram. Whatever happens to this body, we think it happens to me. If somebody praises this body, we think that somebody is praising me. If somebody, scolds this body, we think somebody is scolding us. If somebody is doing puja to this body, we think somebody is doing puja to us. If somebody is punishing this body, we think somebody is punishing us. But this body is not the real us. But we identify with this body, and ahankaram is the reason why we identify with this body. So that is ahankaram. And the fourth component of antakaranam is chittam. Chittam is the illuminatory faculty. It is by which we are aware of all the things that are surrounding us. No, we are self-aware. I exist. We say, in the deep sleep state, we say, I exist. In the dream state, we lose connection with the body, but we don't lose connection with I. So we say, I exist, and everything around us is being illuminated to us because of chittam, and the I-ness is called as ahankaram. So these are the four antakaranams: manaha, buddhi, ahankaram, and chittam. And these four antakaranam is referred to as here as buddhyadi. So we have seen karmadi pancha, jnanadi pancha 2, pranadi pancha 3, abhramukani pancha 4, antakaranam or buddhyadi 5. So we have seen 5 puris or 5 cities. There are 3 cities remaining in Sukshma Sharira. What are they? They are avidya, kama, karma. These are the 3 more cities. Avidya, there is only one avidya. Karma, it does not have subcomponents. Kama, it only has one kama. And then karma, it does not have subcomponents. There is only one karma. So what are these avidya, kama, and karma? Avidya means ignorance. Because of something, we are ignorant of our own self. Our own self is Brahma. We are all Brahma Swarupam. But because of avidya, we forget that we are Brahma Swarupam and we identify with this body. So that is called as avidya. Vidya means knowledge. Avidya is ignorance. We are ignorant of our own nature, which is the root cause for all our problems. All of our problems are because of insecurity, because of peacelessness, because of unhappiness. So, in the absence of security, the absence of peace, the absence of happiness are the root cause for all the problems, and we forget, we are ignorant of the fact that we are the embodiment of security. We are the nuclear powerhouse of peace. We are the embodiment of happiness. We forget that, and avidya is the reason. And because of avidya, we get kama. Kama means desire. Any desire. I want a car. That is a desire. That is a kama. I want a good house. That is a desire. That is a kama. If we think deeply about it, we want something else because we are not satisfied with what we already have. We want something else because we think that the other thing is going to make us complete. That is why we desire for other thing. We desire for a big house because we think a palatial house will complete me. I want a good car because I think a BMW or a Porsche will complete me. So, karma arises because we are unsatisfied with our current state. That is why karma arises. But are we really not complete? Shastra say you are Purnam. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate. Shastra says you are complete in yourself, but because of ignorance, we forget that we already are complete, and we seek out other things thinking that other things are going to complete us. So ignorance is the mula karanam, and ignorance lead to kama, thinking that whatever the thing that we desire are going to complete me. But alas, it is not going to complete us. When will we understand? We will understand it the moment we bought the house. Before signing the agreement, we will think that the house will make me complete. The house will make the family complete. But right after signing the agreement, we will be seeing another house. Oh, that house is more cheaper than this house, but double the size. So again, we will have avidya. With the same house, before signing, we thought it is going to complete my family. But the same house, after signing the agreement, it is just a matter of 5 minutes. After signing the agreement, we are thinking, oh, this house got all these problems. So again, go back to uncompletedness. So avidya leads to kama, that is desire, and kama leads to karma. Because when I have a desire, I need to do something to attain that desire. It is not enough just to desire a big palatial house, but we need money to buy that house. And in order to buy that house, in order to get that money, we have to work. So that is karma. So vagadi pancha, shravanadi pancha, pranadi pancha, abhramukani pancha, buddhyadi 5, avidya 6, kama 7, karma 8, buddhyadi avidya picha kama karmani Puryashtakam Sukshma Shariram Ahuhu. All these put together is called as your Sukshma Sharira, says Adi Shankaracharya. And this Sukshma Sharira is technically called as Taijasa. We haven't, it is not mentioned in Vivekachudamani here, but since we have seen Mandukya Upanishad, I'm telling the technical name, that Atman who identifies with Sukshma Sharira is called as Taijasa. Vishwarupa Jagarani Swapanti Taijasatmika Shupta Pragnatmika Vishwarupa Jagarani, that Atman who identifies with the Stula Sharira. Because Jagarani, when we are waking up, we normally are attached towards our Stula Sharira. So that is called as Vishwa, and that Atman who is affiliated to, who identifies himself with the Sukshma Sharira in dream is called as Taijasa. So that is one aside point. And Adi Shankaracharya continues, Idam Shariram Shrunu Sukshma Samgitam Lingam Tu Apanchaikrita Bhuta Sambhavam Savasanam Karma Phalanubhavakam Swajnanato Anadirupadhiratmanaha. He says, Idam Shariram Shrunu. We have seen this many classes of Vivekachudamani. So the Sishya, it is very normal for the Sishya to lightly dose off. And now we are seeing it only half an hour in every week. But that Sishya is sitting below that Guru, and the Guru has started from shloka number 1 to shloka number 97 without any even bathroom break. The Sishya must have started to doze off. So the Guru says, Shrunu, hey Sishya, listen. Idam Shariram, this body, Sukshma Sangitam. This body is called as Sukshma Sharira because it is Sukshma. You cannot see, it is not tangible, it is intangible. So it is called as Sukshma Sharira. But this body has got another name as well. What is the another name? Lingam. So technical name for the Sukshma Sharira is called as Linga Sharira. Why it is called as Linga Sharira, we will see later. But just know to that level, this body is also technically called as Linga Shariram. And what is this body made up of? This body is made up of tu apanchikrita bhuta sambhavam. In shloka, it says twapanchikrita bhuta sambhavam. Don't read it as twa panchikrita bhuta sambhavam. The whole meaning will change. It has to be read as tu apanchikrita bhuta sambhavam. We all can understand this body is made up of apanchikrita panchabhutas, the subtle elements. And then savasanam. Don't read it as savasanam. In yogasana, there is an asana called as savasana. Just sleeping like a dead body. It is not that. It is savasanam. This subtle body has got vasanas in it. What is vasana? Vasana is that memory of past actions. Memory of past actions. That past actions can be from this Janma, or the past actions can also be from our previous Janmas. We have got Anadi Janmas. So we will have Vasanas from all the Janmas. We carry all the vasanas from all the janmas through our Sukshma Sharira. Our Sukshma Sharira is the link between this janma and previous janma. Okay, how can we understand this? We have all these child prodigies. Just at the age of 3 or 2, A kid can identify what raga the song is. We have seen, we are seeing, there are a lot of even YouTube videos that shows kids like 2 or 3 year old kid, they can identify all the raga, they can solve differential equations, they can play piano at ease. At 35, 40 years of, oh, or 40 years of age, we still don't know what this raga or that raga is. But kids at 2 years, 1 year, 3 year, they are called as child prodigies. Normal, our science has got a different understanding of child prodigies. But according to Shastra, they all are Purva Janma Vasanas. In the previous Janma, they must have learned Carnatic music, and they carry that vasana from all the previous janmas to this janmas through what? Through their Sukshma Sharira. And when we dream, because Stula Sharira is often associated with the waking up state. When we are waking, I hope you guys all are waking, are under waking up state currently. That is how all this knowledge should transfer only when you are awake. I hope you guys are all awake now. So when we are waking up, the Sukshma Sharira is there, but it is masked by all the Stula Shariras. We cannot think when we have music around, because thinking faculty is the Sukshma Sharira. But when there is a music, when there is an overpowering music that goes on to our ears, which is the Stula Sharira, the Sukshma Sharira doesn't do. That is why when we are thinking, or when we are, brainstorming about something else, we turn off everything and then we focus only on the subject, because the Sukshma Sharira will be masked by the Stula Sharira during the waking up state. But Sukshma Sharira will come into play during our dream state. Because in our dream, when we are dreaming, we are not using our Stula Sharira at all. Even somebody will start a tractor by vitifying lot of koratai, we won't hear. We will be sleeping peacefully, and in our dream we won't listen to that koratai sound. We will be listening to some pullanguழல் by some Ramani will be playing pullanguழல் in our dream. Without we don't have to listen to all the koratai, because when we are dreaming, the Stula Sharira is shut off and only the Sukshma Sharira will be on. And what do we see in our dream? In our dream, we can only see those things that we have already experienced. It is a very, very important thing. If I have not experienced certain things in my waking up state, I will not see that as a dream. This even scientists agree. But some cases, we might be seeing some dream, which we are not aware that we have already experienced in our waking up state. There can be three reasons for it. The first reason is we forget. Somebody asks you what you had breakfast 2 days ago. We had breakfast 2 days ago. That is there. But I don't know whether it was idli or upma or something else, because I forget. It is not registered into our memory for easy access, but deep in our heart, it might have been engraved, and that is what we see in our dream. So that is the first thing. Or another explanation is, it is not from this Janma. We have seen that thing. We have experienced that in our previous Janma. And because of the link, because of the Sukshma Sharira link, we are seeing that as a dream here. That is a second thing. And third thing, even though we might not have experienced the same scene as a whole, but parts of the scene we might have experienced experienced before. We all would have had this dream. We will be living at the house, in the US, whatever house we are living, inside the house, it will look exactly the same. But outside, if we walk out in the dream, it will look like in India. Or in India, we might have gone to a temple. So we will be visiting the same temple in our dream. But when the moment we walk out of the dream, the streets are not like what it used to be in India, but the streets are what it is now in the US. So we have seen that everybody would have gotten that dream. What does that mean? It means that we have experienced that dream in parts, but our mind have cloned all that experience into one scene. And all this is because of vasanas. So, savasanam. There is a one exception to this rule, which is premonition. There are some people who will have some power to see what is going to happen in the future, or who has got some power to see something else not experienced during our waking up state. But it is very, 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 very rare, and Shastra does not count that as a dream. Shastra will count that as an intermediary step between waking up and the dream state. So our waking up state is called as Bahish Prajna. Prajna means aware. Bahish Prajna, we are aware of all the things that are surrounding us. That is called as Bahish Prajna. Dream is called as Antah Prajna because we are aware, but not of the things that are present outside, but of the things that are happening inside in our mind. Remember, whatever the things that are happening in your dream, they all happen inside our mind, not even brain, not even the physical brain, but the mind, but in the antakaranam. So that dream is called as antah prajna. And these kinds of special powers, Shastra say, are called as Ubhaya Prajna. You know that Mandukya mantra, seventh mantra, it says Nantah Prajna, Nabahish Prajna, Nobhayatah Prajna. All the mantras in the seventh mantra of Mandukya talks about Ubhayatah Prajna. But here in Vivekachudamani, Acharya does not talk about that because they are all exceptions and it happens only to a very, 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 very small number of people. So, Savasanam, our Antakaranam, our Sukshma Shariram carries the Vasana in from our waking up state from this Janma and from our previous Janma. And Karma Phalanu Bhavakam. This is very, very important and very unique to our Sanatana Dharma. We believe in karma theory. What is karma theory? பிறர்க்கின்னா முற்பகல் பிறர்க்கின்னா முற்பகல் செய்யின் தமக்கின்னா பிற்பகல் தாமே வரும். Says Thiruvalluvar in Tirukkural. Whatever the things that we have seen, that we have done in our previous janmas, they have an effect on whatever the experiences that we have in this janma. Have we ever thought what is the link between previous janma and this janma? So in a computer, if I want to transfer data from one computer to another computer, I have a pen drive. What do? I copy all the data that I want from my previous computer into pen drive. I take the pen drive to my new computer and then I transfer all the data that is stored in the pen drive to the new computer. Right? That is what we do. But how is all the karma data gets transferred? The normal data we can easily understand because one computer is here, another computer is here, one pen drive I can easily transfer from place A to place B, or from country A to country B I can transfer. But this is from one janma to another janma. There is no physical link connecting us from this janma to my previous janma, right? We don't see any link. Shastra says that link is the Sukshma Sharira. All our karmas are stored in our Sukshma Sharira. So whenever a Jiva takes a new body, he basically comes with his own Sukshma Sharira. He enters a new Stula Sharira. Remember, Stula Sharira has got a date of birth, it has got a date of expiry. But Sukshma Sharira does not have a date of birth, does not have a date of expiry. Sukshma Sharira is Anadi. That is what he's going to tell later. But Karma Phalanu Bhavakam means because of the Sukshma Sharira, we have a Vasana, and because of the Sukshma Sharira is that pen drive which basically carries all the karmas, that are stored because of our previous janma into this janma. Karma phalanu bhavakam. And then what? Swajnanato anadhirupadhiratmanaha. Swa ajnanataha. Sukshma Sharira is basically ignorant. What is basically ignorant? If we already know what are all the karma that we already have, it would have made our life so much easier. If we already know all the experiences from my previous janma, it would have made my life easier. Well, it depending upon what you did in our previous janma. Same with this janma. What happens before 30 years? Fortunately, I forget. If I remember all the things that have happened to me since my birth, it is going to be a very, 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 very big burden. That is why it is said ignorance is bliss. We have to forget certain things, because if we remember all those things, we cannot live a peaceful life. And the Sukshma Sharira, even though it carries all the vasanas, it basically hides those vasanas. It basically hides all those memories from myself, fortunately or unfortunately. And anadhi rupadiratmanaha. Anadihi, the Sukshma Sharira, as I said before, it does not have a date of birth, and it does not have an expiry date as well. Our Stula Sharira has got a date of birth, but our Sukshma Sharira, because it is carrying vasanas from all the previous janma, if our Sukshma Sharira goes, then we won't have any knowledge of what happened in our previous janma. There won't be any vasanas, there won't be any karmas to deplete in this janma. So this Sukshma Sharira is anadihi, and atmanaha upadihi. Upadihi, tool. Atmanaha upadihi, the stula sharira, the Sukshma Sharira is a tool by which the Atman operates. The Sukshma Sharira is a tool by which the Atma operates. With this, we will finish today's class. There are some more points. Sukshma Sharira topic is very, very big. In future classes, Acharya is going to bring in the topic of Maya. What is Maya? Trigunatmika Maya. What is Sattva? What is Rajoguna? What is Tamoguna? Because all these three gunas are very, very closely associated with our Sukshma Sharira. And very importantly, the topic of abhasa, that is reflection, is going to be talked about in the next class, which we will see in the future classes. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Thanks a lot. நம்ம நாளைக்கு next week பார்க்கலாம்.
Thank you.